Vedanta means the ending of knowledge, and it's the master philosophy to combine and harmonize all the other philosophies. The word Veda means knowledge, and Anta means ending. And so Vedanta literally means ending of knowledge. And all the other Vedas, all the other Upanishads, all the other systems of philosophies had lots of differences between them. And Vedanta is the attempt to synthesize all of them under a single umbrella. It was established by Badarayana, and there are three fundamental Vedanta texts: the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. And really, Vedanta marks the conclusion of the Vedic philosophies. It takes the viewpoint that while knowledge is essential, it can be a barrier to reaching higher states of consciousness. Basically, Vedanta is saying a person can't find God if they spend their whole day in the library reading books. Vedanta refers to God as Brahma, which means the expansion of consciousness. And in Vedanta, this consciousness is all that exists. The central theme in most of Asian religious philosophy is the search for an unchanging real or absolute beyond the world of appearances and changing phenomena. I mean, think of the city streets of India where there's so much going on, so much conflict, people having different ideas and how do we make sense of all of this? And that's so that that dilemma becomes a central theme in Asian religious philosophy, and it's part of the reason why the Asian idea of God is nirguna, without attributes. One person says God is love, another person says God is an illusion, another person says that God is indifferent, and so all these different disagreements resulted in this grand conclusion that Brahma has no attribute at all, and that's the only truth there is. So that's a kind of resolution to conflict and different ideas. And so in Asian religious philosophy, there's a search for liberation from suffering and liberation from the illusion of reality, from the cycle of birth and death. And in Hinduism, Brahma is seen as the unchanging real, beyond this world of false appearances. I would say that that in Buddhism, absolute truth is more of a process of how to respond to reality rather than a description of reality itself. In any case, there's lots of different ways to slice and dice this. Vedanta, how does Vedanta influence Ayurveda? Well, there's a strong tradition of contemplation, deep thought, and philosophy to Ayurveda's approach. And there's some schools of thought say that, in order to achieve enlightenment, a person needs to be in good health. But I also think there's many schools of thought that say that one's spiritual advancement really is not dependent upon good health. I mean, if a person's born with bad health, does that preclude them from becoming enlightened? I don't think people would agree with that. So anyway, Ayurveda believes that reality and consciousness exist, while Vedanta believes that Brahma is all that exists, that the only unchanging real is this attributeless consciousness. So Ayurveda has a lot of duality, and Vedanta is really a system of singularity. In Sankhya, as I said before, the world is made up of consciousness and reality, but in Vedanta, it's really just consciousness. So Ayurveda believes that reality exists.